There's some dark and mysterious rumblings happening in Gotham City today. I'm Tom Jorgensen, this is Jim Vejvoda, and we just got some new details on The Batman coming from director Matt Reeves. Jim, what is going on?
All right, so we finally have some actual confirmation of rumors that have been around for a while, but Matt Reeves spoke with Hollywood Reporter and he did confirm that for right now the movie is called The Batman, but they'll probably change that. They're looking at it coming out around 2021. They're going to start casting soon, that there are going to be multiple villains. He refers to a rogues gallery, and that it's going to be a noir, point of view driven story with a very personal sort of transformative arc for Batman. Now, some of these things he has said before, and a lot of these things have been rumors, but it's nice to finally have it all be canon.
We've been kicking around ideas in the office about like what stories we think match all these details. We've come up with a couple. The one I am most gunning for is Hush. Hush is a story that we have never seen adapted. We're going to, I think this coming year, I think Warner Brothers is doing an animated version of it, and that is really exciting to see them kind of do that first, their first foray into that story. But Hush is the story that I'm most excited to see. That is a very personal story for Bruce Wayne. And we're gonna go into some light comic spoilers here, so if you don't wanna have any sense of what happens in these stories, please feel free to, I don't know, just listen on mute or something. But we're going into spoilers for the comics, so here we go. In the comics, Hush is Tommy Elliot, who is a childhood friend of Batman's, who gets wrapped up in this giant conspiracy with different villains, and Batman is trying to figure out who this guy is, and it is a very personal story for him.
And also, I mean, originally people thought, oh, it was supposed to be Jason Todd coming back, so there's a lot of like buttons you have pushed for Batman along the way. I do think that that one makes a lot of sense. Now, I wouldn't expect a literal adaptation of that, like Nolan and even Zack Snyder, they all borrowed from the comics or enough sort of homages to these classic stories. But yeah, Hush is the big one that hasn't been tackled yet, and an entire generation of moviegoers now have grown up with that story, and I think they would love to see some version of that, and I think that would be great. But there's also like Court of Owls, which is another contemporary story, but one that digs deep into not only the roots of Gotham City, but to Batman's kind of family legacy as well. Now, Gotham, the TV show, did kind of adapt or borrow a lot of that stuff, but who cares? They're gonna go ahead and kind of do their own version of that. If they do Court of Owls, you could do The Long Halloween is another one. Now, that one's a great one where the term rogues gallery really comes into play, and a very long form sort of detective story, and I think that would be great. And also that it's a very personal arc for him, and that, you know, Harvey Dent and everything and what is going on with him. So I think there are a lot of ways that you could adapt some of these classic comic book stories and still check all these boxes that Matt Reeves has laid out for us. And then there's even the very first Batman story was a detective story where it's the case of the chemical syndicate, and he's trying to solve these murders, and at the very end, that's when you first see, that's when it's revealed that Batman is Bruce Wayne, but Bruce Wayne is this sort of background figure, society guy, whereas Batman is out on a case. So, like, I don't know, you could do clever things like that with the movie.
Yeah, the thing I think I'm most excited to see Matt Reeves bring to this is, he's talking about this personal story that it's going to be for Batman, how it's going to change him, and he is so good at doing big emotion and big, set pieces and stuff like that, but making it feel intimate and like tied to character. So really excited to see how he brings that sensibility to this story. So that is what we are excited to see in Matt Reeves' The Batman, or whatever it ends up being called. We want to know what you're excited for. What do you want to happen in the movie? Let us know in the comments. For more on what's going on in the DC world, you can check out our review of Reign of the Supermen, as well as our breakdown of Who's Who in our first look at Birds of Prey. And as always, be sure to follow and subscribe wherever you like to watch IGN.